Number 18. Arsène Lupin III, from Lupin III. In modern times, the art of being a thief has always been portrayed as a suave and cool profession, and as the most internationally wanted and renowned thief, there are not many cooler occupations. Arsène Lupin III is a descendant from a generation of thieves starting from his grandfather, Arsène Lupin. That's third generation descendant for those of you who are figuring out the obvious or are just retarded. A snappy dressing suave gentleman, he sports a lot of charm when it comes to stealing the crown jewels or wooing the ladies. For firearm, he favours using the Walther P38, and for cars, he seems to like driving the Mercedes-Benz SSK. While also having a fondness for fancy gadgets, he is also a connoisseur of international food and wine. Now, occupation aside, does he remind you of anyone else?
Bond. James Bond.
Yes, his suave demeanour can be reminiscent of Bond at times. Though, let's leave the similarities at that, shall we, with him being French and Bond being English, so I don't have to tell you how well that ends. And also, those sideburns! Along with his crew of Jigguk, the quick-drawing, accurate sharpshooter, Goemon, a swordsman with a sword that can apparently slice through the space-time continuum if needed, and Fujiko, the femme fatale character proving that fan service did exist in the 80s, and at that time they didn't need boobs which seemingly run on a dead or alive beach volleyball engine. He's a thief capable of pulling off any heist and getting away with it, being an incredibly slippery character who's almost impossible to catch, and this comes from his many skills of being a thief. Physically wise, he's amazingly flexible and fast, allowing him to sneak into the tighter spaces, and has also used it to perfect the art of getting the fuck out of there when trouble comes. He is also able to skillfully drive cars, motorbikes and planes while only occasionally breaking the laws of physics, and seemingly able to crack any safe or free himself from shackles in an instant, while his quick wits allow him to outsmart any target while easily getting away with the loot. Though, personally, I think his most impressive skill is his ability to impersonate basically anyone he fancies. I'm not sure how he does it, but he can perfectly mimic any person of any height, race or gender right down to their voices, which is kinda scary to think if I were a wealthy man making out with this chick I just pulled, only to find out that I was seduced by a suave dressing smooth talking monkey with two rats growing on the side of his face. Those sideburns! Though, then again I'm from Thailand where half the women there are secretly men anyway, so I should be used to it by now. Ha ha, self-deprecating racism. Always hot on his tail is the ICPO inspector Zenigata, who he is always able to evade no matter how close he gets. This is supposedly because his cunningness allows him to always give Zenigata the slip, but personally I think it's due to the fact that Lupin looks like he's suffering from anorexia giving him pencil arms, while Zenigata seems adamant on carrying handcuffs made for people with the wrists the size of lampposts.
何をするんです？
測ったな、ルパン三世。すべての道はとっくに封鎖済みなんだよ、ルパン。
さすがだな、銭形警部。
ありゃー、こら待て。
Though, while Lupin can be undeniably cool at times, he seems to flip arbitrarily between suave cunning thief into crazy wacky idiot who couldn't charm his way out of a paper bag. Even if this goofiness is only an act to fool his enemies or just to trick people into thinking he's not as intelligent or sneaky than he actually is, it happens all too often for him to top this list. Also, even though this guy is supposed to be an international ladies' man, his actual success with women very much depends on the mood of the current writer, who has the ability to make him into a smooth-talking, charming womanizer or just into a bumbling French ponce. Though the latter definitely applies when we focus on his infatuation with Fujiko. As the master of the femme fatale role, Fujiko has always been able to rely on her feminine charms to get her way with men, and this is especially true when it comes to Lupin. She has no hesitation in using, double-crossing or betraying Lupin to the point where finding out that Fujiko has betrayed the team is about as surprising as the sun rising in the morning. And every time he just comes back crawling like he's a little puppy fetching a stick. And does he get anything for it? Hell no! Every time Lupin gets a whiff of success with her, he would always fail because either she would be playing with him, or she had an ulterior motive, or we find out her vagina is made out of a spring-loaded boxing glove, but the point is something would always come up.
He means his cock!
But then again, how he could put any girls with sideburns like that is a fucking mystery to me. Because of his tendencies of goofball antics and outbursts of wackiness, he does get a lower spot in this list. But when it comes to smooth criminals in the anime world, no one is smoother or cooler than Lupin III. Number 17. Light Yagami from Death Note.
I've won. Exactly as planned.
A wise man once said, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and this is certainly true when absolute power comes in the form of a black notebook owned by some drag queen reject of a death god who has nothing better to do than fuck with the human world, and corruption comes in the form of an intelligent young Japanese high schooler who is also really bored and has way too much free time to kill. Light Yagami is one such guy. After by chance discovering a black notebook that's been dropped on the floor, he soon finds out that this is no ordinary notebook, but is actually a notebook that can kill. A death note. Though, being the swami git that he is, he has to give the audience an overly-long monologue explaining how stupid and childish the notebook is, and describing how sick and twisted the whole idea sounds, before he finally sits down, shuts up, and tries the motherfucking thing out.
The suspect has been found dead inside. I repeat, the suspect is now dead.
Yeah, that's right, not so stupid now, is it, you smug git? From there on, he declares himself a god of this new world and starts killing off criminals one by one, before he is soon noticed by the police, a not teenage super detective named L, and is dubbed Kira by the Japanese people on the internet, originating from the English word killer. Further cementing the notion that the internet is full of sick and twisted individuals and that the Japanese have no ideas how to pronounce their bloody L's properly. Haha, get it? L? Huh? Shut up. Being one of the smartest characters out there, Light is able to put his intelligence to good use when ridding the world of criminals and evading the police. Using the many rules of the Death Note, and I mean enough motherfucking rules to write a book about, he's able to inventively plan out his executions and also protect himself when having his battle of wits against L, making for a very interesting debate on the values of justice.
I will hunt you down wherever you're hiding, and I will eliminate you. I am justice.
And I'm Gigguk.
Hi, I'm Troy McClure.
I'm Batman.
In contrast to L, who, let's face it, looks like a weird obsessive nerd who can't even sit down in his chair properly and hasn't seen a day of sunlight in his life, Light is a good-looking, well-dressed, well-mannered guy who has random women falling for him, even though they are annoying as fuck, and is seemingly able to make the most remedial task look like the most epic thing since Charlie Sheen started taking a drug called Charlie Sheen. Yes, I went there. And no, I'm not going to put that potato chip scene in, because that joke is so old now that I might as well take the piss out of the Naruto for saying believe it, or the Wii for being called the Wii, even if it does look like you're having a wanking contest while playing it. Whether you agree or disagree with his methods of justice, it's impossible not to get caught up in his pace. I mean, it's no secret that he becomes somewhat of a prick later on, but even so I still found myself just in awe of how well thought out his plans were, and not in the way of Aizen's ridiculous I planned out your entire fucking life cause I is awesome stuff, but stuff that was actually believable, even if he was just using and killing people left, right and centre. A testament on how well he can manipulate can be seen with his influence even with real life people. Some people argue that Light had good intentions at the beginning and was trying to do things for the greater good. And for those people I have to ask if you can really justify a guy who fancies himself a god right from the get-go, even if he is babbling on about saving humanity for the greater good. Yes, he may have convinced himself and even some of the audience of his good intentions, but right from the beginning he's treated this more like a game than anything else. Focus more on beating anyone who opposes him than getting rid of crime in society, eventually not only killing innocent policemen but downright taunting them just before the moment they died. So can we really say that a person like this was in the right place at the beginning to be doing this for the greater good? His quick transition into a god complex made him go higher and higher in the arrogant prickometer, even if he was a damn cool prick at that. But all this inevitably culminated into a huge fall from power in the end when he got caught from the combined effort of some guy who looks like he's posing for a gay emo fashion magazine and Midget L Ripoff 2.0. Sparking a deluded reaction from Light that resembled a reaction from a whiny loud 12-year-old kid who had been teabagged one too many times on Xbox Live.
Nazi, are you idiots? Who the hell do you think you're shooting at?
You shot Church, you team-killing fucktard!
This childish reaction bumps him down the list to number 17. But whether you think he's a misled ally of justice or an arrogant teenager with a god complex, his influence, intelligence and ambition ensure that his pen is most definitely mightier than a sword. I'm gonna get my ass handed to me by L fangirls, aren't I? Number 16. Major Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell.
You people are cops. There's no hope for justice in our system now. Straighten up your own act before whining about the world. Or if that's too much, wear a blindfold, zip your mouth, and live in a cave. Or the alternative.
Before Pokemon ruled the world and Dragon Ball Z took over Cartoon Network, Akira and Ghost in the Shell were responsible for fueling the initial boom of pocket-eating, socially awkward otakus, all watching this new mysterious thing called anime in the comfort of their mother's basement. Ever since then, Motoko, the Major, Kusanagi, has always cemented herself as one of the most badass female anime characters in history, whether it be in the original Ghost in the Shell movies, or in the more recent TV adaptations lovingly called Gitsak, making it sound like a euphemism for some kind of scrotum, but I digress. A cyborg employed as a squad leader of Tactical's Operation Unit Section 9, she always maintains a commanding presence and is never afraid to stamp down her authority as team leader. And command her presence she does, as she doesn't take any shit from anyone, getting both fear and respect from fellow team members and commanders alike. This is due to her incredible efficiency when it comes to getting the mission completed, because her determination and dedication makes her seemingly unstoppable when she is on one, always being able to keep calm and quickly analyse any problematic situation that arises to come up with a solution to solve it as quickly and efficiently as possible, while commanding her team to successful mission after successful mission. Well, I say she stays calm in any situation, but she does sometimes get angry, and in those odd instances when she does lose her temper due to unforeseen circumstances like, I don't know, a 5-ton fucking robot trying to stamp on her head, you might want to stay the hell away from her.
Hey, Saito! Fork over that weapon now!
Her increased strength and agility, which she gets from her sleek and sexy bionic body, makes her tough as nails when it comes to combat, being able to go toe to toe with any guy when it comes to a fight or using firearms. And hey, when's the last time you ripped off your own fucking arms trying to dismantle a walking tank barehanded? In addition to her determination and tactical abilities, she also has great skill when it comes to hacking, being able to quickly hack most computers, machines or even other cyborgs to take control of them, allowing her to win some fights without even lifting a finger. And to top it all off, she's also in the large minority on this list because she's also a woman. Insert obligatory sexist kitchen joke here. It's no surprise that the anime world is very lacking when it comes to strong female leads, especially in the era of moe girls doing moe things in a moe way with moe stuff, whatever the fuck that even means. Or if not, then they're probably there to show off their bras, cleavage and or underwear whenever possible, or in a more likely case, show off their bras, cleavage and or underwear in a fucking moe way. Whatever the fuck that even means. The Major breaks this trend, showing us that not all women are there just to be cute or show some tits or get kidnapped all the time or insert obligatory sexist kitchen joke here. And breaking a stereotype set by other real life shows, giving us the impression that all girls want to do all day is talk about dick and shoes and lesbian sex. Though, I have to say, while she is a butt-kicking female, her main outfit seems to be what I can only describe as battle lingerie, which I only assume is there for some light fan service, but it's fine. Because on one hand, her body's not her real body, but a completely cybernetic body with no human parts, including her brains, organs, and all other assets. But on the other hand, damn, she can kick some ass in that with her big-ass guns and her big-ass... arse. Seriously, what the hell is that?
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Unfortunately, she doesn't score higher in this list because while there aren't really many uncool points to go against her, there aren't really many standout cool points either. She doesn't really do anything with much enthusiasm if you ask me, sometimes being too, well, robotic. And she doesn't have too many badass feats to go under her belt either. Okay, single-handedly firing a high-powered sniper rifle repeatedly point blank in someone's face is pretty cool, but in terms of badass feats, there are a lot better on this list, and in terms of attitude, there are a few cooler. Still, with the determination of the Terminator, the skills of a professional soldier, and that, this is one unstoppable chick you really don't want to piss off.